Hey guys, Moose here. Welcome back to another episode of Life is Feudal Forest Village. Apologize, the videos have been a little bit sparse lately. I have been pretty swamped. A major work event happened recently that took up a lot of extra time for me. And on top of that, I've been kind of like today, it's Saturday that I'm recording this, and basically I woke up and I made it about 3 or 4 hours, and then I passed out for another 3 or 4 hours, and then I went about my day, so don't even have the energy to make it through the weekend at this point, so I'm trying to get myself kind of back together. I'm just not taking care of myself. I'm not putting as many hours into, I'm not allocating enough time to sleeping as I clearly need to be, so that's been causing some problems, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and get some harvesting done. We don't really need wood, but, you know, eventually we will, so might as well keep up with it. This will harm our hunting, but food is not a concern at the moment, so who cares? I'm still disappointed with where I placed this. This guy, you know what? I should just cancel this. It's not going anywhere. In fact, I could get rid of that too. And I could make a new one. I think it's this guy, right? The saw? Yeah, carpenter shop. Good enough. There we go. Give him something to do. But yeah, I've been really just super stressed out and busy. And I found out that front, so I live in a rear unit, which is like it's like if you built a smaller house onto the back of a house, which I like because I share the wall with my landlord and they're reasonable people. Older couple, not too old, but you know, older. They're not loud, they're pretty quiet. We're not loud, we're also pretty quiet. So it's a good match, I think, where we just can kind of be, you know, it's cool. Anyway, point is, I don't share really a wall with anyone. Like, I don't share it with other renters. And I find that it's not always the case, but renters tend to be loud and obnoxious, unfortunately. Or just irritating in general. And that's either... I've had people move in with dogs that just kind of don't shut up and no one cares. They don't do anything about it. I've had people... You know, the usual thing is rearranging furniture. The other nice thing is there's no one above me. It's just, I'm here and that's it. The roof is the roof. So yeah, it's nice. Blasting music is another issue I've had in the past. So, it's a good situation, but apparently they just found out that they have termites in the front. It's not back in my area, it's just the front of the house. And, unfortunately, they have to do some work. So they gotta tent the place, they gotta do some other stuff they want to get done. Fundamentally, what it means for me is I probably have to go somewhere else for a little while. Legally, they have to... Why is this not working? Oh, I can't build there. Why can't I build there? No way. Is there a slope? There's no way there's a slope there. That's ridiculous. Serious? Alright. That's a little crazy. We'll just mess. Hold up. Why? That's a bug. That's gotta be a bug, right? Yeah, what do you mean there's... That's just unbuildable, permanent. What the hell? Let's see if I can fix... God, still finding new bugs is, like, actually incredible. I'm kind of amazed. I'm just gonna reload and see if that fixes it. It should fix it. I think that was, like, part of the previous house, and, like, maybe because of when I tried to place the thing, it bugged out. Yeah, okay. It was a bug. Reloading solved it. Fine by me, I'm not worried about it. It's crazy, though. I've never seen that bug before. Wonder if I did something specific to cause it. Anyway, that little intermission aside. So yeah, so they have to tent the house to fumigate it, and I gotta get gone for like 3 days minimum. So that's gonna be a huge pain in the ass, because Karen has this big... She's self-employed as an artist, basically, so she's got a huge project that she's working on. She's putting in like 14-hour days, like non-stop. It's... We're arguing about that a little bit, because I don't like that she's doing that. I want her to take... Oh, God. Okay, that's... Rabies isn't that bad. I want her to take better care of herself, but she's, you know... She's doing what she's doing. I won't get into it, because I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm right. She's not here to give her side of it, and whatever, so that's whatever. I disagree with the way she's handling it. That's my personal opinion, and that's not... anything more than that. It's just, that's, you know, what I think about it. Maybe we might as well build this just to deal with it, even though it's not going to really be that big of a deal. It takes a lot more resources than you'd think. I actually kind of don't like that that's kind of just a one... well, okay, let me rephrase that. Oh, okay, no. I thought about it for a second. From a design standpoint, I know the way that should be done now. So the way they have it set up is for healing, you have an herbalist hut to get healing herbs, and then you have the healer's lodge where people actually go and get healed. The healer's lodge is huge, as you just saw, and it also seems to cost a surprisingly large amount of resources. I don't like that, because anyone can get sick at any point in the game. You could have 4 people, one of them could get sick. So you could say, oh, you just prevent it, but, well, we just had a rabies issue. So, I don't know. I feel like that one's kind of out of plague. Yeah, okay, that's under my control, my fault. That's what's killed me a number of times. Rabies I don't really have any control over, which is one reason why I'm murdering all these animals, because maybe that has something to do with it. Probably not. Probably it has nothing to do with it, it's just random chance, but whatever. I think that it does not make sense to have that big of a healer's hut, or lodge, or whatever you want to call it, be the only option. And they should do... Oh, I hit the fox, that's why I was like, oh, well, I hit the boar, so I gotta get the fox now. They should have the healer's huts be smaller and serve less people, so that instead you'd have, like, different... You'd have one in one area, another in another area, and kind of do it that way. But that would mean it takes more manpower. But it just balance something else down the other direction, kind of even it out. Really, you can pretty much have one healer for the whole game. At which point, I kind of don't see the purpose of it. It just seems like something to do. Well, no, you need... Well, okay, so they use herbs so slowly. If you didn't watch the previous playthrough, basically, like... I got herbs once at, like, episode 50. And then that's all I had for, like, another 150 episodes. And I didn't really... Like, I think I built another one to get more, but it was not necessary. So... That's kind of point. Like, this thing is kind of pointless. If it's going to be that easy, why are you making the player gather it? And then this, like, if you're only going to need one person to service an entire, like, civilization, an entire town, what's the point? Like, what are you really accomplishing by having that be a thing the player has to do? It just seems silly, you know? But that's just, like, my opinion, man. So, I don't know. I should not be building these right now, but I kind of don't care if I do. Do I have enough? Am I out of clay? Is that the issue right now? I keep hitting the caps lock button. Yeah, I'm gonna be out of clay. I don't know what rabies is gonna do. I don't even know if it does anything. It may just be that they have rabies and that's it. Like, they're just not gonna have anything happen. Or they could die shortly. And if they're gonna die of that, I'm a little surprised they haven't already died. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, I gotta get out of here for like three days to a week, depending on how we want to do it. I gotta talk to the landlord and kind of negotiate and talk about, okay, well, what do you actually want to do? Because they don't just want to fumigate the place, there's some work they want to do on the house too, which is understandable, and they have every right to do that. But I kind of have to plan out my schedule around that, and legally speaking, they're obligated to pay for my accommodations during that time. So probably what we're actually going to do is I'm going to go over to my parents' place and move enough of Karen's stuff there so that she can do her work, and then I'll just do whatever, because I really just need to go to work, so I probably won't be able to record anything during that time or stream. So I will probably record ahead, and then stream I just won't. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. I'll probably work on writing, which is the other thing I was gonna talk about. But we'll get to that in a minute. Maybe in the next episode, because I've been behind on doing YouTube stuff, so I kind of want to do a few episodes today if I can. Probably two at the most is probably what I'm going to be able to get to, but we'll see what happens. You know what? No. I kind of explained the termite thing, so... And the work stuff I can't really talk about, because it would be identifying, probably. Plus, it's not... I don't really want to talk about work. Like, I talk about work stuff because, honestly, at the end of the day, work is what I do. Like, I do my job, but I don't... Pretty much everything I say about work is just kind of venting. I know I bitch about coworkers and stuff, and I think everyone has that. If you work in any kind of a job, you've got coworkers that you don't like, and you got coworkers that are frustrating to work with. It's not really... I worry sometimes that people think that's like, oh, I work for a terrible company and blah blah blah. I really don't. The company's great. It's just, anytime two humans are in a place, one of them's not going to like the other one. It's just... I know that's not always true, but, there's always conflict. That's part of being human, ultimately. So it's, it's whatever. But I don't want to, like... I worry every time I talk about it, because I don't want people to get the impression that I, like, hate my job, and then they'll, like, eventually know, I don't know, something, and... I just don't... That's not actually how I feel, and I worry that every time I talk about it, it's negative, because that's what I have to talk about. I can't talk about the positive stuff, because the positive stuff is, like... under non-disclosure agreements and stuff, so it's like, I can't. I really enjoy the work I'm doing right now, though. I'm getting to program more. It's frustrating work, it's hard work, but there's moments where stuff clicks. Or actually, no, I've kind of gotten to the point where most of the barriers with the work are things that I don't control. The code works great. It's just, I don't have all the necessary information to make the code do everything it needs to do. And that's just, it is what it is. There's going to have to be some work done outside of it that'll make that happen, which I just remembered I have to call a meeting for, which is fine, because honestly what I'm doing is kind of prototyping a longer-term solution that has to happen eventually no matter what, so it's... I'm doing something that's going to benefit everyone in the long run. And it's something that I can be kind of proud of. And it also puts me... Actually, the biggest thing is... It's really difficult, really, really difficult. If you're writing a program, you're developing a tool... This better be rabies again. What do you have? Rabies, okay, good. So it's spread. I don't know. I don't think rabies is a contagious... Oh, no, it is. Is rabies human-to-human contagious? I see another bear in my town. I don't know if they're causing it, but I want to believe that animals in the town are causing rabies, but I also don't think that the developer would actually build that in like that. I think it's probably just random, but who knows. Anyway, I know obviously rabies is like animal to human contagious, that's how that works, but I don't think it's... Or it might be... No, it's animal to animal contagious too, but... Is it human to human contagious? Actually, we do such a good job of, like, getting, you know, mostly getting rid of rabies that I don't really know about it that much. Which is surprising, because everyone, you know, when you're a kid, that was, you know, I heard about rabies a lot. Like, oh, Animals frothing at the mouth. Be careful, it's gonna bite you. It's got rabies, you'll get sick. Or it's rabid. You know, the word, I'm assuming the word rabid and rabies are connected. Would it be that they share the same root? I don't know. Something like that. Oh, we're out of stone. Shit. We can afford not to grow food this year. That's fine. I think getting healing set up and kind of fixing our materials situation is going to be the right way to handle this for now. No need to worry about it too much. This is a problem. We need more stone, big time. Clay too, but clay is like... This doesn't do anything without the healer herbalist set. So we'll go deal with that. But, I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube while I work lately, because I like having background noise. A lot of the time, if I'm focused, especially if I'm coding, I can only really do it with music, because I really have to focus, and you can't really break your concentration, so I just get some music. Lately, that's been kind of club music, I guess. EDM, by the way, which is funny story. Before I got with Karen, who I've been with for about, I think, 4 or 5 years now. I think 4 years. Yeah, I think 4 years. Actually, I think 4 years last month. I'll have to ask her about that. Anyway, before that, I was briefly on like some dating sites, because all I really did was work, so you can't really meet anyone. And do I work with a lot of... I work with a fair number of women, but I wouldn't consider any of them to be, like, anyone that I could ever reasonably be with. And that's not, like, oh, they're out of my league, I could never... No, I don't mean that. They're just, like, they're way too different from me. I am super into games, as you can tell, so... Generally, like... I think in some respects it's almost what it's like to be gay, where you're not really sure who else is gay, so you're like it's like walking through a minefield. You're trying to figure out like, oh damn, is it okay if I talk, like, can I talk to this person? Are they gonna treat me like I'm some kind of weirdo because they're not into it like I am, and now I've kind of like alienated someone at work and now I have to deal with that every day. So I never really felt like that was ever an avenue for me to meet anyone that I would consider to be a friend, because it's just not like it's too risky. It's too, like, I'm a kid, I'm weird. People see that, yeah, I'm 31, but they're like, oh, you still play video games? And yeah, it's Silicon Valley, and yeah, it's 2015? 2014 maybe? But still, like, you can't, it's still weird, because a lot of those people, and the other thing is, like, I might work with a lot of women, but I would have been 27, 28 at the time, and a lot of them are, like, already either early 20s, which is a very different age group, in my opinion, which I don't have a problem with dating in, but... it would have to be someone that was old for their age, because you're you gotta be similar in as far as like maturity level goes, I think. Or they were older, married with kids, etc., etc. So that's obviously not on the table. So I was on dating sites, and I kept seeing like, hey man, Asian women really like what did I think it was? I thought it was something death metal. I guess rabies is contagious, given what we're seeing here. I thought they all said like, oh, I love EDM, and I was like, oh, you like death metal? Why are Asian women really into death metal? I had no idea. This is like a super untapped market that I was not aware of. And no, EDM is, I guess, electronic dance music. But yeah, I really wish it was death metal. God, that would have been such a cooler reality to live in, where like a lot of women, but Asian women in particular, were like super into death metal. It'd be like Agretsuko, which, if you haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. Go check it out. It's hilarious, apparently. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things, and Karen watched it, and she loved it, so... I will take her implicit word for it that it is excellent. It made sense, because it's the whole premise of that is like... It's like a timid office worker, or maybe not timid, but like a female office worker that like takes out her rage by going and singing like, I guess it's death metal? I don't know if you would really necessarily call it death metal. Screamo, death metal, whatever. You get the idea. So I guess it was always sort of believable, but yeah, I learned that lesson. Because no one ever spelled it out, and I just kind of had to put the pieces together and be like, oh, you don't mean death metal, you mean dance music. Oops. Thankfully I didn't message anyone and say like, hey, you're really into death metal, what bands do you like? I really like these bands. I really like... God, I don't even know any death metal bands because I'm not into it, but I would have gone for like... I don't know about death metal, but I really like Rob Zombie, which is true, I do really like Rob Zombie. I don't really listen to it too much anymore, because what was happening was I'd listen to it at work, and it would actually, like, I found the music was, like, actively making me angrier, because it put me in a more aggressive mindset. So now I try to listen, once I realized that, I started listening to, I have a Pandora station that's built around Skyrim music. Shockingly, it's some of it's in there, not all of it, but some of it's in there. A lot of it's covers, unfortunately. But it's crazy, right? To me, that's like we've arrived as a subculture, gamers. Like, if video game soundtrack stuff winds up on Pandora, Spotify, whatever, that's a little bit less. But Pandora's like, not that Spotify's not legit, but Spotify, I think, is more open, I would say. You're more likely to find weird stuff on there. Like, Pandora, I don't think there's quite as much weird stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't expect to be able to find, like, Mega Man music or something. Like, no chiptune kind of stuff, ever. Never, ever. But, actually, now I'm gonna go look after this episode. I gotta go see if they have that. But Skyrim, yeah. Recent release at the time. I mean, Pandora existed when Skyrim came out, I think. Very popular music, a lot of people liked it, it was in commercials on TV, it's legit, so yeah, it makes sense that would be one of the few that's in there. But I'm kind of curious now to go look and see if there's some other stuff, because that'd be great, but yeah. Anyway, weird little story there, but I'll talk about the writing stuff in the next episode, probably. I got a lot to talk about there. I've been watching a bunch of Kevin Smith stuff that's getting me inspired. Kevin Smith's a cool dude. You should check out some interviews that he does and stuff if you feel like it. He's crazy, man. There's a lot of stuff. He's been all over the place. The connections that, like, people just that he's talked to, at least on camera and stuff, is just cool. Like, I just watched one that was like him, J.J. Abrams, Stan Lee, Mark Hamill, and a guy, I feel bad, I don't know his name, but he did the voice for Syndrome. He was in, I think he was the evil guy in Dogma. One of the evil guys in Dogma. Like, a bunch of that, you get the idea. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us the next one as well. If you did enjoy it, feel free to come by twitch.tv/electronicmoose. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. PST, 9 to 11 p.m. EST, and check out a stream if you like. If not, thanks for watching here on YouTube, and I will see you next time. Take care.